Hey, what's up everyone? I'm Alex Williams and you are watching the weekly update for Funagain Games for the week of February 16th, 2018. Today, unfortunately, we do not have Patrick with us. He is feeling a bit under the weather, but you got me back, at least for the day. It's going to be a lot of fun, so let's go ahead and do this. Alright, the list may not be long, but there's a lot of good stuff on it. Let's go ahead and check out what's new on the pre-order list. First up, we have Argent, the Consortium Core Set. This is a worker placement area control fantasy card game for 2 to 5 players from level 99. The expansions include Mancers of the University, Summer Break, and Masks Festival of Masks. We have Dungeon Rush, a humorous fantasy set collection action and dexterity game for 3 to 5 players from Stronghold Games. We also have Dogpile, a solitaire animal puzzle game for 1 player from Game Right. Also from Game Right, we have Cat Stacks, which is also a solitaire animal puzzle game. We have 4 new Funko Pops for Jurassic Park, including Dr. Ian Malcolm, John Hammond, a raptor, and of course, we have a T-Rex. Kingdom Run is an animal fantasy racing action game for 2 to 4 players from Ankama. Next up, we have Virulence, an infectious card game. It's a hand management, deck building, push your luck card game for 2 to 5 players from Genius Games. Also from Genius Games, we have Cytosis, a cell building game. It's a worker placement economic set collection game for 2 to 5 players. We have 2 new expansions for Grimslingers, Northern Territory, and Advanced Duels. This is for 2 players from Greenbrier Games. Next up, we have A Wrinkle in Time. This is a cooperative sci-fi pattern recognition game based on the sure-to-be-a-hit movie for 1 to 3 players. Everdell is a city-building animal fantasy worker placement game for 1 to 4 players from Starling Games. Next up, we have 5 Minute Dungeon. This is a cooperative real-time fantasy card game for 2 to 5 players from Spin Master Limited. We also have I Know, a betting trivia party game for 2 to 6 players from Tactic. Next up, we have Perudo, a family bluffing dice game for 2 to 6 players from Asmodee. Rising 5, Runes of Asteros is a cooperative sci-fi puzzle game for 1 to 5 players. Next up, we have expansions for Sword and Sorcery, which include the Arcane Portal, Morrigan, Rild, Victoria, Onamor, and the Ghost Soul Form Pack. That is it for our new pre-orders. Let's go ahead and take a look at what's new in stock. First up, we have some expansions. We've got the Game of Thrones card game Favor of the Old Gods. This is a chapter pack for the Flight of Crows cycle. We also have a Nightmare deck version of the Grey Havens for Lord of the Rings. We have the Legendary Champions expansion deck for Legendary Marvel, the deck building game. Very fun. Champions is a pretty cool team. Alright, we've got Greedy Dragons. Greedy Dragons is for 2 to 6 players for ages 8 and up. Plays in about 30 minutes. Looks like a whole lot of fun. It's got some fun dragon art on there. We also have Hintagers. Hintagers is from Zafby, and this is for 5 to 10 players, 5 to 10 or more players actually. Plays in about 20 minutes for ages 8 and up. It's got kind of a numbers game. Pretty simple design, but looks like it could be a lot of fun. Next up, we have Star Wars Destiny. This is the Rivals Draft set. This is pretty cool. So 2 new ways to play, draft and sealed. Shows you right there on the back of the box. New cards for your Star Wars Destiny game. Of course, we have a new pop figure for Rick and Morty. This is Pickle Rick with a laser. Any Rick and Morty fans out there? I think this is the 3rd or 4th Pickle Rick that we've seen. So, next up we have Terra Wolf and the Valley of the Kings. What's interesting? This is from the Red Joker and ALC Studio. This plays with 2 players in about 30 minutes for ages 12 and up. Got some cool card art on there. I actually really like the box here too. Kind of the game reminds me of Indiana Jones, Terra Wolf and the Valley of the Kings. Alright, we've got the first mini expansion for Feast for Odin. It says Sail to the Land of Fire. I haven't actually gotten around to playing a Feast for Odin yet, but it's pretty popular. Alright, we've got a new expansion for Small World. This is Sky Islands. Whole new board and looks like some new, maybe some new factions or new characters for it. Haven't played Small World in a long time, but this is a lot of fun. Alright, another new expansion. This one is for Fields of Arl. This is the Tea and Trade expansion. This is from Z-Man Games. Plays in about 60 to 120 minutes with 1 to 3 players, ages 14 and up. Got a new play mat. This is for Imperial Assault players. This one is the Mos Eisley. No, wait, well, I'm actually holding the Jabba's Palace one. There it is. Mos Eisley back alleys. You can kind of see the map there, and you can tell that this is a big map. This is for your skirmish game. Jabba's Hut is also available, but it's not new. We've got 2 versions of the Way of the Fighter. This one's pretty cool. I'm really looking forward to opening this one up and playing it. This one is Turbo. Comes with 5 characters. This plays 2 players, about 30 to 60 minutes, ages 14 and up. You're going to be using cards and dice and stances where you put yourself on the board to fight each other. This is a lot like a 2D arcade fighter. This is pretty cool. Like I said, they're pretty much the same between Turbo and Super, but they each have 5 completely different characters in them, and different cards, different powers, all that. Very cool. They're both available right now. New expansion for Eldritch Horror, of course, in the Arkham Horror Files series that I love. This is Masks of Nyarlathotep, the God of 1,000 Forms. Love the artwork in these games. That one's available now. Last but not least, we have Castle Dukes. Castle Dukes is from Medieval Lords. Yes. Hi, Chris. Castle Dukes is from Medieval Lords. Plays 1 to 4 players in about 60 minutes for ages 12 and up. This game is super heavy and it looks amazing. It's actually 3D. You're going to be building up your castles and moving around your meeples. Is pretty cool. I really want to try that one out. Alright, that is it for what's new in stock. Let's go ahead and move on to our best sellers.
You're welcome.
My stream is being a little weird. Alright, first off we have PAX Renaissance at number 5. At number 4 we have Pirate Den. At number 3 we have Anachrony. At number 2, Council of Verona. Finally, at number 1, still at number 1, Rick and Morty, Total Recall the Card Game. Alright, so let's go ahead and talk about the new Game of the Week. Maybe. There it is. Alright, Game of the Week this week is Pillars of the Earth. This is from Cosmos. Plays in about 90 to 120 minutes for 2 to 4 players. Looks like a lot of fun, very popular game. Is this the one you want, Chris?
Yes, that was a couple.
Well, now it's Game of the Week, and you can get it for 30% off all week long.
Well, there goes my budget.
There goes your budget. All right, that is pretty much it. I want to thank everybody for joining me on this update that seems to have a little bit of streaming problem. I'm hoping that that's not a problem for everybody. That's just me. Next week, join us Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. Pacific time. We're going to be playing Rambo the board game. Now, you may have already seen Patrick and I play a pre-recorded version of this, but we're going to be playing live on our game night. We're going to have Chris there, and I believe Jeremy and Derek are also going to be joining us for Rambo the board game. Be sure to check it out. It's on Kickstarter right now, and it's only going to be there for another week or so. Actually, I think it ends the day after our live stream, so be sure to do that. The week after that, we're also going to be playing Robin Hood and the Merry Men, another Kickstarter game. It'll be a whole lot of fun. And be sure to tune in every Friday at 1 p.m. Pacific time for the weekly update. And hopefully next week, we'll see Patrick back. Thanks, guys.